Hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I hope you all are sound and safe. Hi everybody. Make sure to drop down your name and the country name you're tuning in from, as always. We have embarked on this journey where we started from understanding about physics, where we begin from understanding about physics, how exactly physics and joints work. Then we also talked about how we can create our own environments. We can drive around our environment. We can make objects static or dynamic in nature. And we laid a very good foundation of building a 3D game. And today we are taking a step forward by creating an entire game in PictoBlox 3D and XR Studio. So I'm very excited about this session because we are going to talk and we are going to learn more about how exactly we can start up coding and start and build our own game in this particular environment. So I'm very excited about this. So therefore, I just want to know, since this game that we are going to create, it's going to be a first person perspective game, which is FFP, which is quite famous because first person perspective game gives you quite a unique yet very exciting environment in which you can play around and play the entire game, enjoying the user interface, which is aka UI. Therefore, I just wanted to know which or what was your first game that you played, your first person game that you played. So therefore, I'm presenting one question right over to your screen. So I really humbly request all of you to scan this QR code and do let me know what was your first person perspective game that you played. So was it Duck Hunt game? Was it PUBG? Was it Counter-Strike? Was it Valorant? Was it Call of Duty or any other? If any other, feel free to drop it down in the chat box. I'm also sharing the link in the chat box for you all. So if you are not able to scan the QR code or watching the session with your phone, you can just click on this link and it will take you to this particular question page. So let me know what was your first game that you played. So we got one answer as Duck Hunt. All right. What about others? What do others feel? Hello, dear robotics. Hi, Miss Nikita. Hi, everybody. So by the time rest of the people join us live, I very humbly request you to scan this QR code or click on the link in the live chat box and let us know what do you think or what do you know, if you remember what was your first person perspective game that you played. All right, by the time I get more answers, okay, Call of Duty. Oh, all right. Okay. Well, mine was Duck Hunt game, and the second one that I played, I remember very well, was PUBG. Okay. So by the time you start and you answer this particular question, I will also be sharing one game which is getting the most number of votes. That is the Duck Hunt game in PictoBlox, fully working. So this is what my game looks like. I'm just giving a sneak peek of the same, and by the end of tomorrow's session, you will be understanding how you can create this entire game with code and with everything, with the starting screen, with the loading screen, how exactly you're able to do that. I will show it to you. So make sure you understand everything in this particular session and make sure that you join tomorrow's session so that you can understand how to create this user interface of your game. And then later on, I will be also sharing for tomorrow's session, I will be also sharing what is the top performance criteria or guidelines for the caption project. So as you can see, once I'm done with the this, it will start unable to put the ducks down with my gun. So as you can see, all the three ducks are down. So same way, this is what we are going to do. We are going to create different, you can create different environments, of course, but just a disclaimer, this game setup that we are going to do in in these two sessions is just for learning. The purpose of these two sessions is learning. We as Stempedia team, we do not promote violence in any matter or in any way. So therefore, I request all of you to take this game as a learning experience, and make sure you learn from this particular game setup, so that by which you can also create your game which might be different than this one, which is completely fine. You can, instead of ducks, you can use monsters also. So that's just up to you. Since Duck Hunt game was the OG vintage game, which was very popular and still it is being known after so many years, that is why we chose this one and added a modern touch to it. So it's a very good disclaimer, and I really humbly request you not to take it as something else. We are not promoting any violence. We are against any type of violence, and this entire session and the upcoming session that we are going to have, in which we are going to complete this Duck Hunt game, is completely part of the learning experience. So we are not promoting anything bad. So yeah. All right. So I think that's good to go. And let's see how many responses I got. So 5 responses for Duck Hunt game, 1 for Call of Duty. What about others? Which was your first game that you played? Your first person perspective game. So you can scan this QR code or click on the link in the live chat box and do let me know. We will come back to it after some time. All right. So this is session number 4. I once again humbly welcome you to session number 4, in which we are going to create 3D Duck Hunt game. So we are going to create the first person shooting game, in which we will be flexing our muscles and building the first person perspective in the PictoBlox 3D and XR Studio. So these are the topics that we will be covering in this. Okay, I'm really sorry. Yeah. So these are the topics that we are going to cover up in this particular session. First, we will be setting up the environment. I will be giving you a quick introduction to the first person perspective in 3D environment, how exactly you are able to do that. Then we will be setting up our guns and bullets. That is something that you need to understand very well, that how exactly this particular structure or this particular setup is done. And then we will be beginning with the coding part. By the end of this session, you will understand a lot of things that you need to have a knowledge on, or you need to have a grasp on, so that you can create your own game later on. All right. So I think that's good to go. So let's begin by the Duck Hunt game setup, in which we will be setting up the first person perspective. We will be creating animations, adding bullets, and more and more. All right. So I'm just going to open PictoBlox once again. I'm going to open a new, sorry. I'm going to open a new project file. Let's do that. So enter the game name. So it will be session number 4, Duck Hunt game. Set this as default project and click on create project. And there we go. This is what we have. So right now, this is our blank canvas, on which we will be doing the wonders. And let's start it up then. So over here, as you can see, there is our AR camera. And if I turn off my video, by this button over here, you can preview the AR camera. So you can see what exactly is in front of the AR camera right over here, which is your Toby sprite. So in the AR camera properties, there is one particular option. So if you scroll down, there is an option of cursor image right over here. Let me annotate on my screen as well. Right over here. So what you need to do is you need to just simply click on it to add a aim to your AR camera. This aim will act as the gun aim by which you will be shooting the bullets. So let's click on this cursor image. And over here, you can see there are three types of aim that you can choose from. So if you want aim 2, aim 3, aim 1, you can choose any one of them and use it as your aim. So I'm going to go with aim 3. And you can see right over here in the preview area, the aim is right at the top and directly in the middle. So our aim is already set. Now what we will be doing, we will be going into the 3D object library. And in the top option, we will type first person gun over here. Just place it on the ground. So you can see right now, it's rotated in a different angle. So what we are going to do is we are going to change its properties and rotate it in the way that we really want it to be. 90 and rotate it from here to 180. Simple as that, right? Okay. So in the AR camera view, it looks like it is a first person perspective, right? But what do we need to do? First thing first, let's resize it. I think that is good enough, right? Then we're going to move it back and grab the gun. So over here, you have the gun in your layer section, right over here. So what we are going to do, grab it and place it in the AR camera file or in the AR camera layer. Simple, right? So let's do that. Grab the gun and place it in the AR camera. I think I by mistake placed it in Toby. Yeah, in the AR camera. There you go. So my gun is a part of AR camera now, right? Now what do I have to do? Grab this first person gun and place it like this. So therefore, having your AR camera view or preview window should be opened so that you can check up the setup, right? So you can move it around if you want to and set up the gun. I think that's good to go, right? Okay, if you want, you can rotate it a little bit, tilt it maybe this way so that it looks like you are holding it like this. All right. So this is the setup and it's been done. Till now, any question, anybody? So I will be going a little slow today because this is something that is very important for all of you to understand. So whenever you feel like you need to understand something again, you want me to repeat something again, do let me know. I will be more than happy to repeat it. All right. Okay. Now, what do I have to do over here? I will be creating animations. What type of animations, if you may ask? What do I want to do is I want to first create shooting animations of different angles or of different types. Let me show you how you can do that. Over here, we have this base state, which is the state at which the gun is present right now. What do I want to do? When I press on the right arrow or if I press on the F key, I want to shoot. But for that, I have to create some type of animations to give it a realistic taste or realistic sense or like a real life setup for this particular game that I have built. So what I will do, I will click on this particular plus icon over here. I will annotate on my screen this plus icon over here and I will create one more state. Okay, let's do that then. I will click on the plus icon and create one more state. So the values of base state and this state that I have created, this new one, is exactly same. But what I will do, I will select this state that I have created and make my gun move back a little bit. Right. So now if I transition from this, can you see it in the AR preview? Can you see it? It looks like I'm shooting my bullet, but if I do it fast, it will look a little better. So this is how we're going to create the animation by creating different states. Right. So let's go in the animation part. Let's click on add and then click on transition. There is no element animation. So there are two types of animation that you can use. One is transition and another one is inbuilt. For this case, we are going to use transition since we are transitioning from base state to state. Okay. So from base state to state. Then we have to tell in how much duration you want the transition to take place in. I will say 0.1 second or 2 second. Right. So let's play it. Can you see? It looks like I'm shooting, right? So it's transitioning from base state to state. Let's rename it. Let's rename it as shoot. Simple. Okay, let's go back to base state. Now, what do I want to do is I want to aim also. That means I want to aim also. In this case, what I will be doing, I will grab my gun and place it in the aim on the aim over here. So let me do one thing. Let me close the properties panel, increase this and place my gun right on the aim. Simple. You can see it's on the aim right now. Okay. And if you want, you can maybe drop it down a little bit. All right. So this is our, oh, I changed it in the base state only. Let me go back, go to the AR camera view. All right. Yeah, my bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all add another state and then change it. Okay, so make sure if you do this, you can just go back. So what I want to do now, I want to aim. So for this, I want to go from base state to state 2 for aiming, right? So what I will do, I will go in animations once again. I'll click on add, same way transition from base state to state 2. And that too I want to do in 0.2 seconds. Sorry. So now you can see I am able to aim. Now let's rename it to aim. Now you must be wondering, Vivek, what if we want to aim down? That means what if we want our gun to come back to the base state? Just reverse it around. Simple as that. So for this, again, I will go to add transition, same way from state 2, which is the aim state, to the base state in 0.2 seconds. And let's rename it as aim down. Simple. All right, let's click on it. So can you see right now if I go to base state, or let's say if I go to state 2 and click on aim down, you can see it's going back, right? It's going back. But since I selected this aim state, therefore it's looking like it's coming back again on that particular area. All right, let's see. So as you can see, because of I changed the base state a little bit in the middle, what happened? The base state was changed. So what I can do over here, I will select it again, or let me just delete it, and I will make this one again. So this is my base state and this is the state. Okay. So let me just copy everything from this particular state to the base state only. All right. I think now it looks good to go. Right? It looks like it is shooting. So I think that's good to go. I've just edited it, and then again I will add transition, then from base state to state in 0.2 seconds and rename it as shoot, because that was affected since I changed the state in between. All right, I think that's good to go then. So you can see I'm able to shoot, right? Now, one more thing. You might be wondering, Vivek, what if I want to shoot while I'm aiming because that makes sense. Then why exactly we are aiming? What if I want to shoot while aiming? So what I will do, I'll go to this aim one, and over here only I will go and press on this create new state, and I will make the gun go back a little bit like this. So now it will look like I'm shooting. So if you want, you can make it go back a little bit more and then go to animations, add transition from state 2 to state 3 in 0.2 seconds. Simple. Let's click on it. So you can see aim and shoot. Let's rename it aim shoot. Very easily, I made 4 animations using different states that I created right now in front of you. So I will show it to you one by one. Aim is basically by which I'm able to aim my gun to the point. So you can see I'm able to aim. It's coming back because it's just playing this animation once. Then aim down means from aiming going back to the normal position. Then shoot, you can see I'm able to shoot right now. And then aim shoot is this. When my gun is aiming and then shooting. Right. So this is what the 4 animation looks like. Now, the first person perspective of the gun, the setup is done. Now, of course, when we are shooting, we want to shoot some bullets. Simple. So let's go into the 3D object library and search for bullet right over here. Grab it and place it. All right. Our bullet can't be bigger than our gun, so we need to resize it. I think that's good to go. If not, then we can resize it a little bit more. And let's get over here. So right now, what do I want to do is I want my gun to follow the AR camera all around the environment. And when I press on any key, which I will be coding, of course, let's say when I press on F key, I want it to shoot, right? This is something that I want to do. Very simple. But there is one thing that I will be telling you when I will be showing you the code. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. I will show it to you. Right now, what we are going to do is we are going to add our ducks. So the ducks file is there on your LMS. So what you need to do is go on your LMS and in the game setup of the session number 4, you have the duck file already there with you. So you don't need to worry about it. The duck file is there. You can just click on the download link and you will be able to download the ducks and then add it over here. How to do that? Once the duck are downloaded in your downloads folder, click on this particular 3D object library and click on uploads. There you have this upload option. Click on it. Select your duck file and then upload it. All right. That is very simple. And this is how you're going to do it. Give me a second. All right. Click on upload. Go on the particular area, select your duck, and it is uploaded. And there you go. There you have your duck. Right over there. Right. Now the duck is tilted towards the right hand side. We don't want to have that. So what we're going to do, just rotate it around. So for perfect rotation, I'll go and change the degrees from here. Simple. If you want, you can resize it also. I think that's good to go. And there you have your duck. Okay. Now, one more thing that I want to mention. So we are creating a flock of ducks. So therefore we will be duplicating it. But before that, I'm coming to the live stream. I'm just going to check out if there are any questions. Rishabh is asking, why don't we use Python for creating this game? Rishabh, because we started, so this particular training program, we have catered it so that we first build the foundation, then we start off with the intermediate level, and then we go forward to the advanced one. We started with the basic part in which we did a little bit coding. We understood about the interface by using simulations, by using 3D designing, and then in the intermediate training, which is going on right now, we are advancing to game development, physics, joints, how exactly to create UI, content creation, and then with block-based coding, with advanced block-based coding, and then in the advanced training that we will be organizing after this one, that will in that one we can introduce Python. So therefore, these particular training sessions or these particular training programs are created in such a way that it looks like we are going in a step-by-step flow, right? So we can't just jump into Python as of now. First, we need to understand what are the functions. Then once we understand and have a good grasp on the same, and then we can move to the Python one. Please show us how to add duck. No worries, I'll show it to you again. So what you have to do is on your LMS, there is an option on the LMS or the course in session number 4, we have the duck game setup. In that particular session, we have the downloading link of this particular duck. So I'm going to share the link on the chat box also. Let me do that. So it's there in the chat box as well. So what you can do is you can just click on it and you can download the duck. It will be easily there in your live stream. As you can see, yeah, I have added it. I'm also pinning it for you. So you can just click on that particular link and download the duck file. Once you do so, you have to go in the 3D object library, then go to uploads and then click on upload. Once you click on upload button, you have to just redirect where this duck file is, in whether it's in your download folder or in some other folder, and just then upload it. Once it is uploaded, it will be there in your uploads file right over here. So just drag and place it over here. I think that is good to go. I do not have the cursor option for the AR camera. Miss Marina, I request you to select the AR camera, go to its properties and add below option over here. Right under the transform, you have this cursor option. Once you go over there, you can see there is an option cursor image. Just click on it on the plus icon and add the aim. Let me know if you're able to find it now. All right, I think we're good to go then. Okay, coming back to my duck. So now what do I have to do? I have to duplicate it. So Control D, duplicate and add it over here. Control D, duplicate and add it over here. Then what do I have to do? Grab all the 3 ducks and group them together. So this is my group. So what I will do is I will Miss Marina, do let me know if the cursor option is there. If it is not there, then I very humbly request you to please download the latest version of PictoBlox. Once you do so, then the cursor option will be there. So I humbly request all of you. So a lot of you still ask me that this environment is coming up as coming soon in your PictoBlox. So I very humbly request you to please download the latest version from the website. So just type download PictoBlox and go to the STEMpedia official site. And from there on, you can download the latest version of PictoBlox. All right. Yeah. So I can just rename this group as sorry, duck. Okay. Oh, DG, duck group. Okay. Right now, I'm just naming it as DG, but I will show you. There are a few more parts, of course, that as of now I'm skipping. I will show it to you with the live demonstration only. All right. So now what do I have to do? So you have again 2 options. One is you can create the environment using the using the Minecraft game setup, or you can upload your own environments as well. So once again, this is up to you. And this environment is also going to be linked in your LMS course. So kindly go over there, check out this environment. The Python, sorry, the Minecraft one. I don't know why I'm right now, because of Risham, I'm obsessed with Python. Okay, let's go in PictoBlox. And over here, you can see you have the entire library by which you can upload or download your own maps also. So if you want, you can download your maps. If you want, you can create your own map also. So that's also again up to you. Let's say if you want to, if you're not opting for duck hunt game, you want to make or create some other environment, you can create your environment also, right? Or if you, let's say if you want to create a shooting game, but you're shooting objects, like if we were driving the car in the environment, you want to shoot those objects, you can opt for that as well. So this type of environment setup is completely up to you. If you want to do that, you can opt for it. So once you go in the environments library, you have the Minecraft environments right over here. You can select any one of it, place it, add it over here, and then you will be having your environment. But you have to make sure just place it above the ground so that the shape level will be similar. Right? You can do that if you want. You can have this environment. If not, you can download the one which is there on the LMS and upload it. Same way, what you have to do, go in this 3D object library, go in upload, click on upload, and then go to your downloads folder or wherever you think you have added that particular file or that particular map. Then click on that one and open it. And you can also, so to search it, what you can do is go in Sketchfab, make sure that you have logged in and registered yourself over here and search for terrain. If you do so, there will be multiple terrains over here that you can use from. So it's completely up to you. So there are many terrains, as you can see, there are so many terrains over here. So you can use any one of these terrains in this particular game setup that you want to have. So it's completely up to you. So I have already uploaded the Rocky Path one. So I'm just going to upload that. So as you can see, it's very tiny and I need to rotate it around first of all. So let's do that. Rotate it to -90 and then scale it up. So I need to scale it up. I think that is good to go. And then move it up. All right. So this is my setup done. So this is my environment setup all done. So you can, if you want, you can have it in the middle of the ground also and good to go. So there you go. I have my setup all done. Now, if you want to add one more touch to it, what you can do is you can go in the environment section and add sky. So let's say if I want to add rain, I can do that. If I want to add clouds, I can do that as well. But right now I will be opting for day sky, or day sky is a little too bright. So what I can do is I can just simply delete this one and I can use another one. Morning sky. Morning sky looks a little better. But if you're using morning sky, you have to understand one particular thing, that the lighting in this particular environment will be a little low. So what you can do is you can increase the lighting by adding a hemisphere light if you want to. So let me do that as well, just to show it to you. So you can see I've increased the lighting over here. Okay, so it's up to you. If you want to increase the lighting, you can. If not, then you can have the morning daylight. That will be plenty enough for your particular setup. All right, now we are good to go. Let's start with the coding part. But of course, there are two things, as I mentioned, that I want to first live demonstrate and then debug them. Okay, so that you can actually see why exactly we are debugging it and what's the reason for the same. Okay, now let's go to the coding option, go to block-based coding and start with the coding process. This is the most fun part, and this is something that I really love about this particular game, because the coding is very nice. It's very easy, but I want you all to understand it so that once you are creating your own game, you will know how to do the debugging part, and you will know what the particular set of blocks is going to play a particular role for this game that you will be creating. So now, what do we need to do? We first need to code the bullets, right? Or we first need to code the gun particularly so that it shoot the bullets. So for this, what I'm going to do is right over here, as you can see, I have my gun setup. It's already there. I will decrease it so that I have more space on this area. Okay. Now, what do I want to do? When I press the right mouse button and it is pressed, that means when the right arrow or right click is being pressed, I want to aim. If the right key is released, I want to aim down. Very simple, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in events and grab this particular block, which is when right is pressed, I want to aim. So I'm going to go in transform, and over here, I'm going in this advanced animation and play aim animation when the right mouse is pressed. Pressed means it's pressed until and unless I release it. So when I release it, so what I will do, I will just duplicate. So when it is released, I want to aim down. Very simple, very easy. What do I want to do? When the right click is pressed, that means I'm still pressing on it. That means I want to aim until I release it. When it is released, that means my hand or my finger is off the right click. I want to aim down. Very simple. Right. Till this point, any doubt, anybody, or anything you want to understand? I think that's good to go then. Okay. Now what do I want to do? Over here, I want to understand what is the shooting position. That means whether the person wants to shoot when they are aiming, or whether they want to shoot when their aim is down. So to determine this, what I will be doing, I will be creating a variable which I will be naming as pause check or position check, in which I am checking the position, whether the position of the gun is aimed or it is aimed down. Up to you, right? So I will go in the variables, click on make a variable, name it as pause check, and there we go. I will uncheck it from here. Now, for aim, I want it to be, so for, okay, can we use another gun? Miss Babita, you can use another gun, but in this one, as you can see, we have the first person perspective setup. So let me show it to you. Of course, you can, of course, use any other gun if you want to. That's not a problem. But in this one, you can see the first person perspective is already being set up. Let me show it to you. Let me bring it up also so that you all can see it very well. So I hope you can see. So that this setup is already being done. So therefore, I'm using this one. But if you want, you can use normal gun also. I'll show it to you by the end of the session. I have a video which I will play in which you will be able to understand. If you don't want to create this one, you can create that particular setup, or you can create that particular game too. So it's up to you, as I mentioned. All right, let's go in block-based coding. All right. Now, what do I want to do? I'm going to come back to this. So if the person or the player is aiming, that means I want this position to be 1, right? The pause check to be 1. When the aim is down, I want it to be 0. Remember, these two variables, or this variable, setting up these variable in two way will help me out to understand and determine whether the person wants to shoot when the person is aiming, or whether the person wants to shoot when the person's aim is down or the gun aim is down. The particular variable over here, which is pause check, this is what we are going to use to determine the position of our gun at that particular state when we want to shoot. Okay, now what do we want to do? When the left arrow is or the left key is pressed, we want to create a clone of bullet. Okay, so if I go in design, let me check it out. Our bullet is already named bullet over here. Let's go in blocks, and then let's very simply go in control palette and create clone of bullet. Right. So when the left arrow is pressed or the left mouse button is pressed, I want to start shooting. I want to start creating bullet clone of bullets. Then there is one more way that I want to shoot. Right. In games, there are two ways that by which you can shoot. If you have played PUBG, there are two ways that you can shoot. There is one cursor or one action button over here on the right and one on the left. Of course. Same way, we want to shoot by two particular option. One is by pressing the left particular arrow, the left button on the mouse. If not that, then I want to press F. Or you can choose any other arrow also. If you want, you can choose spacebar as well. So it's up to you. When I press F, again, what do I want to do? I want to create clone of bullet sprite. Simple as that. By this, my animation setup is all done. So let me show it to you from here. So if I do this, I'm able to, when I'm pressing on the right arrow, you can see I'm aiming. When I'm releasing it, you can see it goes back, right? So this is what we have determined and this is what we have achieved till now. Okay, good to go. Now comes the next part, which is the bullet movement. We have created a clone. Now we want to move that bullet. How to do this? First thing first, whenever we start the clone of the bullet, we want to make it disappear. First of all, make it disappear. Make it go to the position of the gun. Then make it rotate in the angle of the gun or the AR camera. Then make it move forward a little bit. Then show it and then make it look like it's being shot. I know you won't be able to understand it right now, but when you start the coding process, things will automatically make it clear. Right. Let's start with this part then. What do I want to do? So in the control palette, I have this button or have this block. When my bullet starts as a clone, what do I want to do? First thing first, I want to check the position or broadcast a check position particular message. I will tell you why we are doing this and I will show it to you also. But as of now, I would request you to follow the step, which is when the bullet starts as a clone, I want to check the position. Pause check. Okay. So I want to check the position. Check the position of what? The gun shooting. So is it aim down or aim up? All right. So this is what I'm going to do when the bullet is being cloned. Now, after this, I want to first of all make it disappear. So for this, what I will do, set bullet visibility false. Simple, right? Very simple. So what I've done, I have made it disappear. So the clone bullet is now disappeared. Why I'm doing that? Because when the bullet is cloned, I don't know where my position might be. I don't know if I am moving forward, if I am left, right, down, up, where I'm right now in the first person perspective game. I won't know that, right? How can I determine it? So first of all, I want to hide that clone bullet. Then I want that clone bullet to travel to the actual position of the AR camera. That means actual position of the gun. And then rotate it in that way also, right? Once I'm done with moving it to the rotated part and then moving it to the position of the gun, then I want it to show around. So for this, what I will do, I will normally use this particular position one only. So set bullet X position to what X position? X position of the AR camera. So what I will do, I will go and scroll down and get the AR camera, global AR camera exposition. So the difference between local and global is very simple. The local exposition means what is that particular local AR camera position. But global means collectively what is this position. So when we are creating this type of game, we want to have the collectively or the collective position of the AR camera. Therefore, we are referring it to be as global position, right? So just grab it and place it over here. Simply, what we are going to do, duplicate it, bullet Y, bullet Z, AR camera Y, AR camera Z. So now you can see X, Y, Z position have been set up. Very simple, very easy, good to go. After this, I want to set its rotation. So for this, what I will do, I'll go up and I will grab this particular block to set the bullet rotation locally because it is a cloned one. We don't want to set its collective location or rotation. We want the local rotation to be set. Why? Because it is a cloned bullet. It is not the actual one. Therefore, we just have to set the local rotation of the cloned bullet. So now again, what do we want to do? We want to scroll down and simply get the AR camera local angle in X, Y, and Z. Place it over here. Now you might be wondering, Vivek, in the upper part, you grab the AR camera XYZ position globally, but you grab the XYZ rotation of AR camera locally. Now I want you to tell me what is the reason behind this. This is very easy. This is not tricky at all. The reason behind this is very easy and very straightforward. But I want you to tell me what is the reason and why exactly we are doing it. Anyone in the comment section. Let's see who all are sleeping and who all are very attentive in the session. So please explain the pause check function. I will do that. Not a problem. I will explain it again. Miss C, I will do it. But I want you to tell me what is the reason of this particular area over here. I am getting the AR camera XYZ position globally, but I'm setting its rotation in locally. Why I'm doing it? Rotation takes place on its own axis. Very good, Miss Nazia. Exactly. Rotation, we are doing it locally only. We are not collectively moving it around, right? So therefore, setting it as local will be okay right now. That is the only reason. Miss Nazia explained it very well. Rotation takes place on its own axis. Therefore, it is set up as locally, and therefore we are getting and setting the rotation of the bullet to the local angle degrees of XYZ of the AR camera. Simple as that. Now, what do I want to do? Now comes the next part. So when I'm shooting the bullet, and when I'm shooting it, I want to make it look like it's popping out of the gun. I don't want to make it look like it's popping out of the screen, like this, popping out of the screen. I want to make it look like it's popping out of the gun. So therefore, I want it to move forward a little bit and then appear and then carry on moving forward. Very simple, right? So let's say if I'm shooting, this is the bullet, this is the gun. So if I'm shooting, I wanted to make it look like I'm going like this, rather than making it look like coming out of the screen. No. So to make it look like it's popping out of the bullet or so popping out of the gun, what I will be doing, I will first move it forward just a little bit and then make it visible. Okay, so let's do that now. So one is I want to move the bullet forward by 10 meters Let me go over here. Move the bullet forward by -10 in 0 seconds because I want the gun to be fast. If you want, you can add 0.1 or 0.2, or you can add more delay if you want to. That's completely up to you. Then after this, I want to make it appear. Set bullet to be visible, true. Okay. Then after this, I want to move this particular bullet again. I want to move it forward. Okay, sorry. I want to move it forward by -500. You can set it up again. As I mentioned, these values will be set up according to your environment, right? These values will be different in my environment. It might be different in your environment or some other environment also, or by somebody else. So as I mentioned, as always, you have to play around with these values to get the perfect one which suits the environment that you create. Okay. Now, Miss Nazia, of course, I remember I will be talking about the pause check, but let me just complete this part and then I will come to it. After making it move, let's say if my bullet travel 500 meters in one particular direction, I want to delete it also, right? I want to delete it as well. So to delete it, after making it moving 500, what I will do, go in control and delete clone of bullet. Very easy, very simple, and good to go. Amazing. Now, let me check it out. So I hope you can see I'm able to shoot. Let me just click on F. I'm able to shoot, but can you see that the bullet is actually reversed? Can you see that the starting point is actually not the actual starting point? I don't know if you're able to see it or not, but my bullet looks like it's traveling opposite. Though it's traveling going forward only, but it's reversed. So let's say this is my bullet right over here. This is the starting point, or this is the beginning point of the bullet, but it's going like this. Starting point is here and then it is shooting forward. Okay, why is this happening? Now, to tell you what's the reason, and this was the first thing that I wanted to debug in front of you. Not debug, but wanted to tell you why exactly it is happening and what's the reason behind it. So I will go in the designing path and I will select bullet. So what is happening? My bullet is traveling like this. This is how my bullet is traveling. But I don't want to do that. I wanted to rotate around so that it travels accordingly. Right now, this is its forward direction going towards this part, like this. So what I will do to simply resolve this particular issue, I will make a group and I will rotate my bullet in this particular group over here by setting it up as 0 normally. Let's then click on it, and now you will be able to see it's going to go like this. Now you might be wondering, Vivek, why didn't we just rotate it very simply? We can't do that because we don't want to change and we don't know at which axis we will be shooting the bullet. First thing, we don't know at which axis, at which location or which rotation we will be shooting the bullet. We don't know that. We can't determine that, right? Our ducks can pop up from anywhere. We don't know. So we can't say whether the gun will be here or whether the gun will be here. We don't know that. We can't determine it. So therefore, what we did, we created a group, then we rotated it around so that at whichever axis it will be, I will be able to shoot it, and then it will be going forward only in right direction, in right way. It will not be reversed around. Okay. If you're not able to understand it, good to go. If not, I'll also show you one more example while I'm coding the ducks. Okay, just wait for it. Now let's just rename it, not leave it as group. Let's rename it bullet G. Then go to the code and change the coding over there. All right, that is what we're going to do. So instead of bullet, now it will be bullet G because it is a grouped part now. Bullet G. Same way over here, it will be bullet G again. Bullet G. So I just wanted to explain it to you. Therefore, I wanted to demonstrate it first and then change it later on. So now if I check it around, go in full screen. Now if I shoot, or let's say if I just press on F, I don't know if you're able to see it or not, but my bullets are, I'm able to shoot it around. All right. So what I can do is, I think it's traveling a little too far from me and then appearing. So let's change it to, let's say 6 and then check. Yeah, now it is, I think, a little perfect. Okay. If not 6, let's make it, let's try it out 2. Yeah, a little better. Right, I'm able to shoot and I hope you can see it. The bullets are flying, therefore I'm changing the rotation, the position again and again. Okay, one more thing that I need to edit over here is, I think I created a clone of bullet only over here. Yeah, I need to create a clone of bullet G. So when bullet G clone is set up, then only it will be able to do it. My bad. All right. So now I hope you can see, but still I think it looks like it is coming out of the screen, so you can change the values around. All right. Yeah. Okay, so I can play around with these values again if I want to, and then set it up again. Okay, now this is good to go. This is good to go. Now I will just explain the pause check. So who asked this particular question, the pause check one? Let me check it around. Okay, Miss Sia, the pause check is used to check the position of the bullet or the gun, basically. So let's say I created 4 animations, right? If I go in design, I will explain it to you by design. So if I select my gun, you see I created 4 animation. One was aim, then other was aim down. These two very well, you understand it very well. So let me just open their camera preview also so that I can show it around. One is aim, which is this one, and one was aim down, which was coming back to the actual position. One was shoot and one was aim shoot, right? But I have 4 or basically 2 ways by which I can shoot and 2 ways by which I can basically aim and aim down, right? What do I want to do is, by pressing on the right key of the mouse, or when it is pressed, I want to aim. So when it is pressed, I want to aim, keep on aim. When it is unpressed or when it is released, I want to aim down, right? That is what I want to do. But what shall I do to determine whether the player wants to shoot while aiming up or while aiming down? How to check that? How can I determine whether the player is shooting while aiming or shooting while aiming down? That means whether the player is just shooting or doing the aim shoot. How can I determine this? So for this particular reason, I created pause check variable, by which what I did, if the person is aiming, the pause check will be 1. And if it is 1, then I want to change it to aim and shoot. If it is 0, I want to change it to just shoot. This is something that I will be coding now. Let's go back. I will explain it to you via code also. So right now, let's go down over here and let's start the process. So therefore, I created this pause check because I wanted to check the position. All right. What I will do, so when I receive pause check broadcast message, which I broadcasted when I'm shooting the bullet or cloning the bullet, I want to check if the shooting position is equals to 0. So for this, what I will do, I will I've already created this particular variable, which was pause check. So I want to check whether the position is equals to 0. So if it is equals to 0, that means I have to do aim down shooting. So normal shooting. So I'll go in transform, go in animation, custom one, and grab shoot. And when it is 1, then aim shoot. Normal. Very simple. So this is the only reason I did pause check, by which if it is 0, that means the mouse is released, or the right clicked is released. That means the gun is aimed down, and then I'm shooting. So it will be like this, shooting with aim down. But if the pause check is 1, that means it is aiming and then it is shooting. So that is the only reason I'm checking the pause or the position. So if it is aimed up, then I want to aim shoot. If it is aimed down, then I just want to shoot. Okay, I hope now it is clear. Why in the meters it is negative value, not positive value? Because it is, okay, let me show you. I'll show it to you by going in the design. This is my bullet, right? Now check the XYZ positions. Okay, it's in meters. Now when I'm moving forward, can you see it increasing? The Z position is increasing, but it's increasing in negative. Only reason because I reversed it around. I hope now it makes sense because I reversed it around. But if it was not reversed around, then it was shooting, but it was looking like it is reversed in the actual position. So it was basically moving like this, shooting like this. So that was something that is not acceptable. Then only I grouped it around. When I grouped it, I rotated the actual bullet. Then I used the group to be acting as a bullet and then shooting it. So when I'm moving it forward, the Z position is increasing but in negative. That is why I'm moving it in negative values. I hope now it is clear, Miss Nazia. All right. Now, moving to the next part, which is the duck. Now, if you remember the DG that I created, or the duck group that I created right over here, can you see? Okay, let me just get them up a little bit. So can you see what is their forward position? Can you tell me what is their forward position and how can I change it? Anybody in the live chat box. I want to tell me what is their forward position and what shall I do to change it? Now, this is something, of course, I have already told you in the bullet one, but I want you to answer what is their actual position right now and how can I change it? I'm waiting for your answer in the live chat box, everybody. Let's see who is the one who will answer this question. Still waiting. It's already been cleared when we were coding or when we were doing the bullet part. Let's see. Come on, guys. It's already on the screen only. What is their forward direction? Anybody? By minusing it more. Global minus Z axis. This is their forward position. Can you see? Right now, what should be their forward position? This. But instead of it, this is their forward position, going towards the left hand side. So if I play the code of moving them forward, what will happen? They will move like this, not like this. Okay. Are you able to understand it? What's going to happen? If I make them move forward, they will not go like this. Instead of it, they will go in this direction or in this way. That means this is their forward direction, going towards the left hand side. So what I will do, again, very simple, very easy process. Just again regroup it, right? In this DG group, go over here, rotate it around 90. Simple. Now rename this group as ducks. There you go. That is why I named it as DG. And this is their forward direction now. Are you able to see? What I did, I just changed their forward position by grouping them once again and changing their grouped position from this particular or in this particular method. So now what will happen? You can see whenever I will code it to make this particular flock of birds or ducks move forward, they will move forward like this instead of going towards the left or right. Yes, we will basically rotate it, right? Perfect. All right, I think you got it. You got it. Okay, good to go then. All right. Now, but before moving ahead, I also want to animate it because I don't want the ducks to just move like this. I want them to fly. To do that, I'll select duck one by one, go in animations and click on add animation and inbuilt and this one. So this is the inbuilt animation of ducks. Let me play it. This is the inbuilt animation of ducks, right? Same thing I want to do for the other ones. Go over here, add animation, inbuilt, and this one. So if you are adding another duck or another bird or let's say monsters, their inbuilt animation will be different. But there will be chances if you're downloading some other duck or any other animal or any other monster or any other object, any other 3D figure, all of them might not have inbuilt animation. Only few of them will have inbuilt animation. Therefore, the one that I am using over here have inbuilt animation in it. So therefore, I am using the inbuilt animation for all the three ducks that I have added. Inbuilt and this one. So now you can see I have added animation in all the three ducks. All right. Then you can of course add repeat over here also. So let's say if I want, I can repeat it. I want to repeat it 4 times, 5 times, or more than that. You can do that as well. So it's up to you. It's up to you and up to your environment, but how many times you want to repeat it around, right? So let's say I'm going to repeat it 10 times, right? So I can do that. Edit it. Sorry, start after 0 only, but repeat. Same way over here. Repeat. All right. So now this is what our animated ducks will look like. Okay. So I think that's good to go then. Our ducks are good to go. But Vivek, how we will make them travel along this particular environment? How exactly are we determining that? How exactly are we spawning them from random position? Let me show it to you. In the properties, I hope you can see the X and Y and Z. Very, very simple, very easy. If I'm moving back, the Z position is changing. If I'm moving forward, the Z position is of course changing. If I'm moving left and right, the X position is changing. What you need to do is you need to determine which is the random position of X and Z at which you want your duck or flock of ducks to spawn from. Let me show it to you. So let's say this is a position. This is the X position from where I want them to spawn from, or this is the X position where I want them to spawn from, and this is the Z position, X and Z position. So I will note this, and I can note this one also. That means this and this will be the random position from there where I want them to spawn from. Right. So same way, I can place it like over here, note this position, place it over here, note this position, place it over here, note this position. What will happen? Basically, let me annotate on my screen and show it to you. This will, I don't know why I'm not able to annotate. Okay, allow me a moment. Let me stop sharing and share again so that I can annotate on my screen. Yeah, now I'm able to annotate. Okay, sorry. Now, what will this particular thing do? It will make my birds or ducks spawn from these particular two sides. Okay, let me show it to you by example of code also. But the Y position should be fixed. The Y position should be fixed. It should not be changed. Y position should be fixed, and I will tell you why. I just want to change the X and Z position so that it can spawn from these two particular points in random position. From random position, I want them to move forward. But one more thing that any one of you will be wondering or must be wondering, that is where exactly they will be going. They will move forward, but I don't want to just make them move like they are they are robots and just moving in one particular direction, forward, forward, forward. So let's say if they are spawning from this angle, then they're just going forward. I don't want to do that. That looks very awful. I don't want to do it. What do I want to do instead of this? I will create a group in the middle. I will create an invisible group, place it on the same Y position of my ducks, same Y position. That is why I mentioned Y position should be same. On the same Y position of my ducks, make this group invisible. Do not add any other thing. If any other object is there, then the ducks will collide and they will automatically die. So instead of it, I will just create an empty group and then point my ducks towards it. So what will happen? Instead of going straight like this, my duck will point towards the group and then going this way. That is what I want to do. Okay, let me explain this same thing with the help of code and how exactly you will be doing this particular part. All right, I'll just bring my duck over here just for a moment. So what we can do is, let me just first of all scale them and make them a little bigger. Right. If you want, you can make them smaller or bigger. It's up to you. It's completely up to you. And make its Y position to be 50. I think 50 is good enough, right? It's not gonna collide in any of these mountains, right? Okay. Then what do I want to do? At the Y position 50, I will be adding a sphere or any other object. Let's just add box also. That doesn't matter. I will create a group, make it as, rename it as, sorry, rename it as pointer. Okay, I will change its Y position to be 50. There we go. Now, both of these ducks as well as this particular group are on the same level. Now what I will do? Go in pointer, grab this block and delete it. My pointer is there. But nothing is in this particular pointer group. Nothing. That means if my duck travel towards it and by mistake if they bump into it, nothing will happen because nothing is there. It's just acting as a pointer so that my ducks can point themselves, rotate themselves towards this particular pointer. Simple, very easy. Any point or any question till now, or is it good to go? Interesting. Of course, it's very interesting. Once you start the coding process, once you understand this entire scenario and this setup, you will see how interesting this entire game setup is. Okay, now let's go back to the coding part and let's start the code of our ducks. All right, till now we are done with everything. Now we will do the duck part. Okay, now what do we want to do? First thing first, we want to animate our ducks. The ducks are already animated. We want to play that animation. Then we want to move the ducks. So for this, what we will do, we will create two separate broadcasted messages, which will help the game to determine that now the game has started, the game has begun. Start playing the duck start playing the duck animation and start making the duck move into the pointer value or move to the pointer group that I added. So for this, I will go into events and grab a broadcast button and broadcast a new message, bird fly. Same way, sorry, by mistake, I got up. Same way, broadcast another message, which will be bird move. If not bird, you can use a duck also. That doesn't matter. It's up to you. Now, what do I want to do is, I want to do this particular thing when I start or click on the green flag. Okay. But there is one more particular thing over here. There are two particular broadcast messages, which is this broadcast bird move and wait. Now, let me tell you the difference between the same. This will, if I add it in a forever loop, this will keep on adding more ducks and ducks and ducks again and again and again and again. It will make it them a small a spawn and then just move like it's taking a flight. But what do I want to do? I want to broadcast it and wait until all the ducks are down or until the ducks are out of the arena. Then I want to broadcast again. Therefore, instead of using the normal broadcast, I'm going to use broadcast bird move. Add both of them in a forever loop. And then, of course, as I always say, cherry on top of the cake will be when the green flag is clicked. But Vivek, you might be wondering, Vivek, when are we going to do the first person setup? I mean, the setup is already done, but when we are going to code for it, is the code very lengthy? No. Just go in the global control, grab this particular block, set first person to AR camera, and then you're good to go. There you go. That's it. Right. So now first person is set up as your particular AR camera. Right. Okay. Now, what do I want to do? When I receive bird fly, that means I want to animate my birds and make them look like they're flying. So for this, I will go to transform, animation, play, duck animation. Same way, play duck animation. Sorry, duck animation for the second duck. Same way, play duck animation for the third duck. That's it. Right? This will keep on playing the duck animation. Of course, if you feel like the animation is not repeated the enough amount of time, you can go in the design part and then make it repeat again. How? Go in the design part, select your ducks, go in the animation and change this part, this repeat times. If you feel like the ducks are moving, but it's not looking like it's animated till the end, you can make it repeat 12 times also, or 15 or more. It's up to you. It's up to the environment, as I mentioned. Right? Okay. Let's go back to the coding part. All right. Now, Animation is good to go. After this, what do I want to do? After this, I want to code for the move duck or move bird move one. So I will go in events, and when I receive bird, sorry, bird move, then I want to move the ducks towards that particular angle. So first thing first, I want to make them appear. So I will go in transform, sorry, I'll go in transform, scroll down, sorry, yeah, make duck is visible, true. Same way, duplicate it for the other two, duck 2 visible and duck 3 make it visible. Okay, now we have made it visible. Now what do we want to do? We want them to pick a random position. Random position that I mentioned, random position of the arena. So what we are going to do? So for this, we will be creating the random position. So what I will do is I will go in set duck position. In this time, I will be choosing ducks. I will not be choosing specific duck one by one. I will be choosing the entire, uh, like the group of ducks. Okay. So therefore, I named each and every one single duck is duck one, duck two, duck three, and all the ducks together are grouped as ducks. Okay. The group name is ducks. So I want to change the ducks position locally by picking up and changing it to, first of all, this will be 50. As I mentioned, we are not going to change the Y position ever. So it will be 50. And what do I want to do? I want to go in operator and pick a random from 70 to minus 70 for the X position, and for the Z position minus 32, minus 132, minus 70. As I mentioned, these type of values can be played around. So once you start with this, you will be able to go for it. Okay. Now what do I want to do? After this, again, as I mentioned, I want to do the same thing, but I want to check if they're coming from the right hand side or the left hand side. So again, I will do the same thing, but at this time, these value will be positive, right? These value will be positive. All right. Now, to also pick from one of these, I will be using if then else. Okay. So I will be using, sorry, my bad. If then else. But Vivek, how shall we determine which one should we pick? What is the condition for this? So for this, what I'm going to do, I will again use pick from 1 or 0. And if I pick 0, then I want it to come from this this position or this random position. If it is 1, then I want it to come from this random position. Right? That makes sense. One more thing. I want to do the Toby. The first, the AR camera, so that the AR camera can come in front. So let's do that. So here we go. But I am under it. I'll check it around. Let me start the complete the code over here first. Okay. After this, what do I want to do? I want the duck to move towards the pointer. So for this, what I will do, make the ducks move towards, it will be not move, it will be move towards first. So yeah, this one. Point duck towards the pointer in 0 seconds. I don't want them to take time to think about it. I just want it to be pointed in 0 seconds. Okay. Then what do I want to do? Repeat making them move forward. So I will go in control and set it as repeat. So again, this repeat value will be changed according to your environment. As of now, I'm doing it 6, or you can check it out to 7 also. Let's do it 7 because I think it will be lesser because my ducks are a little bigger in size than normal. So move forward by 50 meters or 40 meters in 4 seconds. Let's do 45. All right. So this will do the job for us. Okay. Now what also we want to do is whenever we set the first person perspective, we also want to do one particular thing, and that is reset our or reload our environment. So I will go in this particular code, reload, and then set it up. Okay. All right. And let's go in full screen mode and let's check it out. Click on it. It will reload. And then it's over here. But one more thing that I want to do, I want to first make sure that I have my Toby sprite on top of the environment. It should not be below it. I think it's already below it. Yeah, it's below it. My bad. So I will just grab it and place it anywhere, maybe over here. It's in here now. Toby, make it go like this. Okay, so I need to add a little distance from the ground. So it looks like it's jumping when it is fully loaded. So therefore, I'm just checking around. Okay, now let's go to code. And then restart it. Scene loaded. I'm able to shoot also, but I'm back in the ground only. Okay, so what I will do in this case, I think I'm not giving enough time to set up the first person perspective. So let me give some waiting time. So I will wait for 1 second and then go to the first person perspective. All right, let's go over here and click on this. Oops, I'm back in. Okay, let me go to design and check it out. So AR camera is also at the position. I can see my gun is also there in the position and it's rotated correctly. And AR camera is also at the top. It's not at the bottom. Gun is also there. Toby is over here. Let me place it maybe at this position. And select this environment. It's visible. Let's make it static. Go to code and let's check it out. And let's go in full screen mode. Click on the green flag. The I'm again back in the this. Now you okay, let me go to the chat and let me see how to make when Arduino. I'm sorry, this is not the session which we are going to discuss about Arduino. Okay, let me check if I should add the collision world. Set the rocky path to collision world. Let's do that. So reload the scene. Let's speed it up. Okay, I'm in full screen mode now, and we're good to go. Perfect. And I'm able to shoot. That is also perfect. I'm able to move. So movement code is already there in Toby. So you don't need to select any other sprite. The movement code is there. Oops. Let me see where the ducks are spawning from, if I'm able to see them. Okay, there are the ducks. And I can see that they are going perfectly fine. But the animation stops over there. No, it doesn't stop. Okay, that's good to go. That means the setup is good to go then. So what I did, let me give you a walkthrough of the same. What I did, when the green flag starts up, I want to reload the scene, add this rocky path, which I have added over here in the environment to the collision world so that I don't, go underneath the this particular terrain and go on the ground. Then I set it up the first person perspective to Toby so that my gun and everything will be going to Toby. Then in a forever loop, I broadcasted two messages by which I am able to first play the bird animations, which is by broadcasting flybird. So when the flybird is broadcasted, there are three animations that I'm doing. One is duck one for duck animation, duck two animation, and duck three animation, by which the flying animation will play. Then I'm also broadcasting move duck, which is move broadcast, move duck, and wait. So until they go off the screen, they will be um, moving forward. How they will be moving forward, I will make them first be visible. Why we are making them visible, I will show it to you in the next session when we are coding for when they are dropped down once they are shot. So for this, what we are doing, we are making them first visible, asking the flock of dogs to pick a random position from these two, then make them move towards the pointer, which is the group, empty group that we created, and make them move towards it. That means after pointing them, make them move forward. You can, of course, increase or decrease the speed from this particular area and then make them move forward in 4 seconds or 3 seconds, or determining your values, how much you want to do. And with that, we also did this part in which what we are doing when the right arrow or the right button of the cursor or the mouse is pressed. Pressed means it is pressed unless release it. So if it is pressed, we want to aim. If it is released, that means if I'm not pressing the right click, then it means aim down, by which I'm also determining the position at which I will be shooting. So if I'm aiming it, so pause check will be 1. So aiming means pause check. If pause check is 1, then aim and shoot. If pause check is 0, then only normal shoot. Then what I'm doing, I'm creating a a clone of bullet G. What I did was I added a bullet from the stock file. I checked it around that when I'm cloning the bullet and I'm making it go forward, what is happening? The bullet is coming out to be reversed, right? It looks very awkward. It looks very weird. So what I did, I duplicated. So I created a group, and then in that group, I rotated the group, the bullet. So what will happen? the group's global position will be the bullet's rotated position. So that whenever I shoot the bullet in any of the axes in my game, it looks like it is moving forward in a correct position, in a correct way. Right. Then what I did when I press on left, it is creating a clone of bullet G, and the press on F, it is also creating a bullet G clone. So that means I can shoot by two ways, either by pressing left arrow or pressing the F key. Then once the bullet clone is created, okay, so when the bullet clone is created, what I did, I checked the pause check. So pause check is basically this only, by which I'm able to check at which position the bullet was shot. Was it by aiming it or by aiming it down? So that is why I'm adding this pause check when the bullet is cloned. After it is getting this particular message, I want the cloned bullet to hide. When it is hiding, I want to do the backhand stuff. First, make the bullet clone, move to the AR camera XYZ position, then rotate the bullet to the XYZ position of the AR camera in particular XYZ degrees. Then I want to make it move forward a little bit so that it looks like it is not coming out of the screen. I showed it to you also. Then I'm making it appear and then travel forward. And why these values are negative? Because the actual bullet is being reversed around. So if it is reversed around, the Z position when it is moving forward, it will be going in negative only. That is something that I also showed you. After it is traveled minus 500 meters forward, I want to delete that particular bullet clone. Simple as that. So this is how I'm able to do it. Right. So I think this part is very easy. Though the code looks it's very lengthy, but once you try to break it down and once you try to understand it in your own language, it will be very easy for you to make this particular game. So till now, what we did, we created a clone. We created this particular uh, duck clones, bullet clones, created the bullet and duck, the gun animations, and made them make this entire working scenario scene over here. Now, what we will also do, tomorrow, in tomorrow's session, we will create the entire game interface. So entire game UI will be creating using one of the extensions, which is content creation extension. And we will also code for the short duck over here. So let's say if I shoot one of the duck, what I want to do is when it's coming down, I want to code for that. That is something that we will be taking up in next session. So any doubt till now? Make the ground static. Sorry, but I really need help. Um, okay. Mr. Cherish, I request you to please ask these type of questions in the WhatsApp group since it is not related to this particular training. And if you are a part of Codever, if you're participating in that, if you're a Codever student, please ask it in that particular group only. Right. Whether the ducks to be cloned too? No, the ducks don't need to be cloned. The ducks need no need to be cloning the ducks. So therefore, what I'm doing over here, I am broadcasting it again and again, right? Therefore, it's a part of a forever loop. I'll show it to you tomorrow also. So what I'm doing, so three ducks are traveling. Let's say these three are the ducks. These are traveling, and when they are going out of the arena, they will disappear, right? Basically, they will come back and they will again respawn from any other point, and then they will move in the other direction, moving towards the pointer only, right? What if I shoot one of the duck down? So I will have only two left. Then those two will be traveling in that direction. So this is something that you will be able to understand also when we are doing the next part of the code, in which we are going to shoot for the falling duck also, right? So that is something that you will be able to understand pretty well in the next upcoming session. But as of now, the answer for this question is no. We are not going to create clone of ducks. We are making them again and again move to and respawn from that particular or other particular angle or other particular point, right? So I think that's good to go. So if you have any doubts, if you feel like you are stuck somewhere, do let us know in the WhatsApp group. we will be more than happy to help you around and get your issues resolved. Right. So make sure you save this file also so that the same file can be used for tomorrow's session as well. All right, no problem, Ms. Nazia. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. But before I end up this session, make sure to fill this feedback form of session number 4 so that we can also determine how was this session, and we really do want to know what was your feedback for this one. I understand that all of the concept that we have taught you so far is combined together in these two sessions. So it might be a little lengthy for you also to grasp on this particular learning that I'm passing on. But once you understand it, once you break it down, rewatch this particular recording, break it down into simpler steps, and then and thereafter you will be able to see that how easy it is to code this entire game. Right. Then of course, do not forget your DIY. So in the DIY, we all have asked you to create your own archery arena. Same way, you are creating the bullet arena or the bullet or the gun setup. You have to do one for the archery too. And one more thing that I want to show you is this one. So I think one of you asked me, can we use another gun? Yes, you can. So this is one of the video that I wanted to play. So you can see I'm using, in this one, using a normal gun. Instead of ducks, we are using a predefined path, aliens or a predefined path, these cylinders or cube. I don't know what type of different type of shape it is. And then we are making them go in the predefined path. We have named them also. So we have added text on top of them. We have added a health bar. So this is something that you can test it out and you can also create. Same way you can also create your archery arena also. But for that, all you need to do is just understand how this AR camera and this first person perspective is taking place. And once you do so, you will be good to go. So all you need to do is add your bow inside the AR camera, add a aim, different type of aim. If you want to add any other one, you can choose and upload that too, and then you will be good to go. Add some arena elements as well, so you can do that as well. All right, so I think that's good to go then. So thank you so much everybody for tuning in this session. I know I took a little more time. It looks like Among Us characters, guys. Yeah, it does. So I'm telling you this, the only purpose of using this particular game for teaching you the game development was only that that this particular game is quite known by its name. Duck Hunt game is something that everybody knows about. So therefore, we opted for this one. And a lot of you really were excited about how exactly we are going to code it and make it in 3D and XR Studio. As I mentioned in the starting of this session also, this particular game or this particular session or the upcoming one does not promote or support violence in any way or animal harm also. So this is just for your learning. So I request you, if you are not comfortable making this one, what you can do is you can opt and choose any other character instead of ducks also. So as I showed you, you can choose character like Among Us or monsters, aliens, and then you can replace them instead of ducks. So that's completely up to you. All right. So thank you so much everybody for tuning in. Make sure to fill back the feedback form. The link is already there in the chat box, and I will see you in the next session. Until then, have a great day. Bye bye.